Alabama is often caught between two narratives: the progress of the aerospace industry in Huntsville and the shadow of systemic poverty across the Black Belt region. Labeling a town as best or worst is not simply about who has the highest crime rate, but also about economic stability, infrastructure quality, and residents' life expectancy. Data from 2026 shows a widening gap between towns that have successfully diversified their economies and those left behind by the decline of manufacturing and textile industries. In this discussion, we'll break down 20 small towns in Alabama through an objective lens, examining the history that shaped them, the unique facts attached to each, and the difficult as well as hopeful realities their residents face every day in pursuit of economic stability. First, we begin with towns that fall into the struggling cities category. And it's impossible to ignore Selma. Yes, Selma is a landmark in American civil rights history, but today it stands as a portrait of economic neglect, with a poverty rate reaching 41% in early 2026. Nearly half of its residents live below a stable standard of living. Downtown streets are lined with cracked red brick buildings and boarded-up windows. Ironically, Selma is home to the iconic Edmund Pettus Bridge. Yet beneath its shadow, economic activity has nearly stalled. The steady exodus of younger residents has caused the population to decline since 2010, leaving behind a landscape that at times feels more like a museum of failed public policy than a thriving city. If Selma struggles with the weight of its history, Bessemer wrestles with the shadow of violence. Once nicknamed the Marvel City during its steel industry heyday, it is now labeled as one of the most dangerous cities in America. Violent crime per capita here is multiple times higher than the national average, creating a stigma that discourages outside investment. The cityscape still shows remnants of grand industrial architecture, now rusting and overtaken by weeds. Interestingly, Bessemer was once a major trade hub in central Alabama. However, the closure of large factories created an economic void that has yet to be fully filled, even with the presence of modern logistics distribution centers on the outskirts. The core issue is not only street crime, but also environmental degradation on former industrial sites, which complicates efforts to redevelop healthier residential areas. While Bessemer's public safety issues are severe, Prichard faces something even more fundamental: the breakdown of basic infrastructure. Located right next to Mobile, Prichard stands as a prolonged example of administrative bankruptcy. The city has experienced a systemic water crisis, in which nearly 60% of treated clean water was lost due to leaking pipes that went unrepaired for decades. Here, the sight of collapsing homes and vacant lots overgrown with brush is common on nearly every block. Its history as a city that separated itself for independent governance ultimately resulted in heavy debt burdens. That financial strain crippled essential services such as fire protection and policing. The reality has made Prichard one of the lowest quality of life areas in southern Alabama, where many residents feel abandoned by the state government as they navigate the city's ongoing fiscal crisis. If Prichard's crisis is administrative, Anniston's is environmental and military in legacy. The city has a strong military history thanks to Fort McClellan. However, when the base closed in the 1990s, Anniston seemed to lose its economic compass. One of the darkest chapters in its history is its status as one of the most polluted cities in the world due to PCB chemical waste from a Monsanto plant. Long-term health impacts and contaminated land have made property development in certain areas nearly impossible. Grand early 20th century buildings still stand in downtown, many now vacant, creating a stark and chilling contrast to the natural beauty of the surrounding Appalachian foothills. If Anniston was left behind by its military base, Fairfield represents Alabama's version of the retail apocalypse. The city lost its primary revenue source when U.S. Steel significantly reduced operations, followed by the closure of its major shopping mall and the only Walmart in town. The loss of access to fresh food, creating a food desert, has become a harsh reality for residents without personal transportation. Road infrastructure in Fairfield is riddled with large potholes, as maintenance budgets have been redirected to service municipal debt. As a result, the city is caught in a cycle of steep population decline. Homes are listed at very low prices, yet buyers remain scarce due to the lack of supportive amenities needed for young families to build stable lives. The economic collapse that reshaped Fairfield is equally visible along the main streets of Lanett. Located right on the Georgia border, Lanett was once a thriving textile town under the umbrella of West Point Stevens. When textile manufacturing shifted overseas in the early 2000s, Lanett instantly lost its economic heartbeat. Massive mill buildings along the Chattahoochee River now stand as empty shells, moss-covered and eerie after dark. Unemployment here remains above the state average, and the lack of commercial activity leaves downtown feeling lifeless once the workday ends. Although there have been efforts to revitalize the riverfront in hopes of attracting visitors, the lingering weight of its history as a failed single-industry town still presses heavily on local economic development. Then there is Uniontown. It may be the smallest town on this list, but the scale of its challenges far exceeds its size. The town became a dumping site for coal ash waste transported from other parts of the state, triggering environmental and public health concerns for its majority Black population. Poverty here is both severe and generational, compounded by a failing municipal sewage system that has been known to overflow into streets during heavy rain. With no major supporting industry beyond waste disposal, many young residents leave in search of opportunity elsewhere, leaving behind an aging population in a contaminated environment. Uniontown stands as one of the clearest examples of environmental injustice, where a small, economically vulnerable town becomes the repository for problems generated by wealthier regions. Uniontown suffers from outside waste. Tarrant suffers from industry operating directly in the heart of residential neighborhoods. Wedged between Birmingham's heavy industrial zones, Tarrant faces chronic air pollution and poor zoning decisions. Homes sit just yards away from coke plant smokestacks that run nonstop. The hum of industrial machinery is constant, and black dust often coats cars and houses within hours of being cleaned. Economically, property values here have seen little to no appreciation, making it difficult for residents to build long-term wealth. Tarrant feels like an industrial zone forced to remain a neighborhood, where residents' comfort and health often seem like the trade-off. Next is Chickasaw. Originally built as a company town to support shipbuilding during World War I and II, its rows of uniform houses create a strong sense of nostalgia, but many of those structures are now aging and in fragile condition. As traditional shipyard activity along Alabama's coast declined, Chickasaw's local economy followed. The city has struggled with relatively high property crime rates, partly due to vacant homes left behind by former residents. While the community works to preserve its historic district identity, Chickasaw continues battling the perception of being an aging fringe area without meaningful economic renewal. Gadsden closes this list with a striking contrast. The city is home to the beautiful Nakalula Falls, a natural landmark that draws visitors each year. Yet downtown has struggled since the closure of the once legendary Goodyear tire plant. The loss of thousands of jobs in a short period created a social and economic shock that has not been fully reversed. Substance abuse has also become a serious concern in neighborhoods facing heavy economic pressure. Gadsden represents a city with clear natural assets and tourism potential, but one still weighed down by abandoned industrial infrastructure and the lingering impact of manufacturing decline, without yet finding a fully sustainable replacement economy. Alabama, however, is not only about rust and poverty. Let's shift to the other side, where prosperity and quality of life are growing steadily. First, there is Fairhope. Perched on high bluffs overlooking in Mobile Bay, it represents upper-tier quality of life in the American South. Founded in 1894 as a visionary single tax colony intended to prevent land speculation, Fairhope developed with careful planning and aesthetic intention. The result is a city filled with seasonal flower displays, art galleries, and thriving independent cafes. Poverty here is minimal, and resident satisfaction consistently ranks among the highest in the state. Fairhope is not only a magnet for affluent retirees, but also an incubator for writers and artists seeking tranquility. Strong public safety and a community deeply invested in environmental beauty make it one of Alabama's brightest gems. Then there is Mountain Brook, consistently ranked among the highest per capita income communities in the United States. Located just outside Birmingham, the city was intentionally designed with English-style village concepts and carefully preserved green spaces. Mountain Brook's uniqueness lies in its strict planning standards. No intrusive commercial billboards, and utility lines are buried underground to maintain visual appeal. Crime rates are extremely low, often negligible over multi-year periods. Its public school system consistently ranks at the top in Alabama, creating a highly prestigious environment for families who prioritize education, stability, and privacy. Moving from Mountain Brook's traditional affluence, we arrive at Madison, a city whose prosperity is built on science and innovation. This is home to forward-thinking professionals. As a primary residential hub for thousands of rocket scientists, astronomers, and engineers connected to NASA and Redstone Arsenal, Madison has one of the highest percentages of advanced degree holders in Alabama. Its economy is highly resilient to global market fluctuations due to its ties to defense and space exploration funding. Public facilities are modern, from digital libraries to inclusive recreational parks. In addition, the growth of technology businesses in Madison has created abundant high-paying jobs, ensuring long-term economic stability without reliance on traditional manufacturing industries. From the technology hub in the north, we move to Daphne, a city known for its natural phenomenon. It carries the nickname the Jubilee City because of a rare event in which crabs, shrimp, and fish rise en masse to the shoreline, a symbol of abundance that is reflected in its economy. The city offers a well-balanced quality of life. Residential growth has been rapid, yet development still respects the preservation of oak forests and scenic bay views. Daphne's social stability is supported by a diversified economy, ranging from retail to professional services. Residents enjoy excellent waterfront recreation and a level of neighborhood safety that allows children to play outside comfortably. For many, Daphne represents the meeting point between modern suburban living and the calm, almost magical rhythm of the Gulf Coast. That same sense of harmony can also be found in Helena, which frequently appears on national lists as one of the safest places in America to raise a family. What makes Helena unique is its ability to preserve a warm, old-town atmosphere while continuing to expand infrastructure and residential development. The historic Old Town District along Buck Creek serves as the heart of community life, hosting music festivals, local markets, and seasonal events. unemployment remains very low, partly because of its strategic location as a residential hub for professionals working in the Birmingham area. In Helena, community-based safety is strong. Neighbors know one another, creating a protective small-town environment that still feels welcoming to newcomers seeking stability and peace. Then there is Vestavia Hills, another city that offers a well-established suburban lifestyle. One of the best views in town can be seen from the top of Shades Mountain. The city is especially known for its commitment to public facilities. Its central library is often regarded as one of the finest in the United States in terms of both architecture and collection. Vestavia Hills began as expansive hillside land that was gradually transformed into upscale residential neighborhoods, with careful attention given to green space and landscaping. Its major advantages include exceptional access to medical facilities and very high public safety standards, making it a top choice for executives and senior medical professionals. Moving from the hills of Vestavia, we arrive at Pike Road, a community that blends modern growth with rural values. This town represents one of the fastest growing areas in central Alabama. Despite its rapid expansion, it follows a development philosophy known as the Pike Roadway, aimed at preserving its agrarian and small-town character. The town operates its own independent school system, built in part through strong community support, evidence of deep civic solidarity. Life here feels relaxed yet productive. Neighborhoods are designed with walkability in mind, and there are abundant green spaces for horseback riding and small-scale farming. Pike Road attracts families who are tired of big city congestion but still want top-tier schools and high safety standards. In contrast to Pike Road's dynamic growth, Rainsville represents the quiet steadiness of northern Alabama living. For years, the city has held a reputation as one of the safest communities in the region, often reporting extremely low or even zero violent crime in certain years. Situated on the Sand Mountain Plateau, Rainsville's economy is supported by stable agribusiness and sustainable light manufacturing. The cost of living is highly competitive, allowing residents to maintain a high quality of life with relatively low financial pressure. Traditional values such as neighborliness and simplicity remain central to community life, making Rainsville an appealing destination for those seeking genuine peace and stability. Although Hoover is a larger city, the Greystone area within it functions as a highly exclusive and affluent enclave. Built around a world-class golf course and scenic man-made lakes, the neighborhood offers a gated, secure environment with a strong sense of privacy. Economically, Greystone is home to high-level entrepreneurs and professionals who contribute to a very stable local business ecosystem. Corporate and financial services careers are well represented among residents, helping keep per capita income high. With premium recreational amenities and 24-hour security, Greystone provides a secluded lifestyle while still offering convenient access to Hoover's major commercial centers. Finally, Gulf Shores closes the list as a city that has successfully transformed its tourism identity into a high-quality, permanent living environment. In the wake of digital economic shifts, many young families and remote professionals have relocated here to embrace coastal living full-time. The city's school system benefits from strong funding supported by tourism tax revenue, making it one of the best along Alabama's coast. Its economy remains active year-round and is no longer entirely dependent on peak vacation seasons. Residential safety is a clear priority, and overall quality of life is reflected in clean surroundings, fresh ocean air, and public amenities that feel comparable to a 5-star resort community.